And now for honestly, this is so telling, one of my favorite cards in the tarot, the Hermit. I love the Hermit. Only child behavior here. I love the Hermit. This is time alone to feed your soul. We are always surrounded by so many people every day, whether it's people at work, our family, our partners, our friends, the internet, the comment section. People don't have their own fucking opinions these days. You know how many times people will message me, oh, I don't know if I should read this book because my friend said. Who gives a fuck what your friend said? Form your own fucking opinion. Oh my God, can we get back to forming our own opinion? Oh, Rotten Tomatoes said, who gives a fuck? We are all individual beings living life in an individual way. Yes, we are, in a society, we are a collective, but my lens, my life, how I grew up, my impressions as a Black woman in America is not going to have the same influence and outlook into something as you may have. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in a city. Some people grew up in the mountains or on farms, or some people grew up with queer parents. Some people grew up with no parents. Like, everyone's impressions of life is different. That is why it's so important for you to just come back to yourself. Don't always listen to that outside chatter, that outside noise. Like, it is just, no, that's why I also don't let people into my home. My home is my sacred space where I have my hermit mentality, where I recharge myself. My late teacher, my late yoga teacher, she would say something so beautiful in class. When we were in a pose and we were really still, she would say, alkaline the components within yourself. The ultimate destination is yourself. This card is a reminder to pull away from the influence of other people. Someone is getting in your ear. Like, stop asking so many people for advice. What do you want? It's giving you, what do you want? Forget about what your mom wants, what your dad wants, what he wants, what I want. What do you want? But it's very much that energy of like, what do you want? When you put your head down at night on your pillow, what will make you happy? What will allow you to know that you made a good decision? You made a healthy decision. You made a wise decision. This is your life, your lived experience. Please live it as such. You can't go through life living it through someone else's lens. When you wake up in the morning, do you put on someone else's glasses and try to walk around living life through their lens? No, because you would hurt yourself. You would miss things. You wouldn't see things that you would see if you were wearing your own lens. I ate with that. The Hermit is that place we go time and time again to check in with ourselves. It is the place where we discover what can't be described by anyone else. The Hermit seeks vast deserts and deep caves. It is a safe space to examine the nature of your soul far away from the psychic energy of others. And there are so many people who are fucking energy vampires out here in the world seeking to influence us for sometimes ulterior motives. Truly, that coworker who you confide in, no. Oversharing, that is so last year. I want to be the mysterious bitch with the tattoos and the elf ears who minds her fucking business and no one knows a goddamn thing about. Okay, like, I love that for my lore. Oh, Misha, This card wants you to know that time alone feeds your soul. The 6-pointed star inside of the lantern is a symbol for hope and inner vision. The staff is also carried by the Fool and the 8 of Cups, which represents making your ascent on your own. The head covering is a sign of devotion and respect to you. The snow-covered mountain peaks represents the spiritual heights and the heightened awareness. This is a demand for solitude, a demand to heal yourself. Get a journal. Seriously. The Hermit holds this lantern, which represents wisdom, faith, and to trust yourself to light your own path. The lantern in this card represents that what is illuminated is ready to finally be healed. How freaking cute. But this is, I think, one of my favorite little tidbits about the Hermit. The Hermit card represents a demand for reflection, space for growth, and the clearing of a cluttered mind. And I do recommend perhaps getting a journal if you don't have a journal. I've journaled since I was 10. I have a lot of big feelings. And sometimes it's not always appropriate to tell other people. Sometimes it's not anyone's business. A lot of the times it's also like I have to come to my own conclusion. When I lay my head down on my pillow at the end of the day, will I be happy with my choice? Or will I be happy with a choice that someone gave me? Really. The Hermit card represents intentional isolation for solitary meditation, having no fear. Hold a lantern to the blackness of your subconscious to reveal what was once hidden. This is being guided by your own North Star, which is the voice within. This card calls for seclusion and contemplation. So if during a reading, you're asking a question and the Hermit card comes up, this card represents stop asking me, stop asking your mom, your brother, your sister, your dad, Reddit, ChatGPT. Go get a journal, go to the park, maybe put on some music and get the answers from within. This is very much given that like high priestess energy, like you know the answers. You have the answers for yourself. And you know, some cards I've seen they usually have that lantern in there so you can also remember like I carry the light against the blackness of my subconscious. And then we get this dude looking crazy. And who knows what Beyonce song that's from. Anyway.